You saw the title of this video and chose to click on it. I'll be 100% sure to deliver on your expectations here. I'll use this video itself to demonstrate my point. There's something about studying harder in the title, right? When you saw that, how did it make you feel? You probably felt a small hint of dread, saying like, oh fuck my life, I don't want to study harder, bro. But you know that you have to, right? I know because I used to feel the exact same way. Whenever I had to study, even if it was just for like 5 minutes, bro. While even now, I still procrastinate on work occasionally, I actually look forward to doing work most of the time. When 1 year ago, I would have went to like Clash Royale or some bullshit game like that. I associated work with unhappiness and distractions like Minecraft or Clash Royale with happiness. That right there, that's the problem, bro. You see work and happiness on two different sides of the same scale, and that you have to sacrifice your literal happiness to get more work done. That's why you can't outwork anyone. You're putting yourself through more pain and dwindling your happiness while you see your friend's story and they're out doing like borderline gay stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you and say I get like A star in every single subject, but I do get pretty good grades while still having pretty good health, fitness, social life and whatnot, and succeeding on YouTube with just myself and my two editors. Thank you so much, Paula and Kaden, by the way. And anyway, that's not like something I see a lot of people my age doing, you know. I may lack in like other areas like ball sports or some shit like that, but at the very least, honestly, I have a better life than like almost everyone in my school, like dead ass. One last thing here before we get to the real shit. I started noticing this about a year ago in other people and myself, that whenever I try to chase happiness, right, I just end up being less happy. We can go back to that work happiness balance I talked about earlier, where you play like 5 hours of Minecraft trying to chase happiness when you know you have 3 different 20-page assignments still due. You feel even worse than if you had just done those assignments first and then played Minecraft later. You get what I'm trying to say here, right? Psst, Jay here. Some of my friends launched a charity fundraiser for M&D Malaysia to help the poor elderly with motor neuron disease. You and I get to help hundreds of people, but that's not even the best part, bro. For every $1 that you donate, this fat ass here will have to run 100 meters, finally losing some weight. I'm so committed to this that when you get short form through the link below, right, whatever amount you spend, I will fully match it in a personal donation of mine. So not only do you gain access to thousands of insightful book summaries, not only does this amount on screen get donated to charity from my own pocket, by the way, Joshua has to run. You can also donate 3 pennies by following these 3 accounts on screen. That's 30 meters paid from my own pocket as well. I will also verbally acknowledge and thank you if your donation includes the message, "I really like garages," along with an interesting story. One last thing, that goal of 10k ringgit, right? Kinda small. Women don't have balls, but I do. So the goal's 10k USD now. 10k USD. Genuinely life-changing money. Like, I know I insult you every single video, but I'd just like to say thank you for watching this ad and in advance for all the upcoming donations. I'm so grateful and genuinely honored to have you give me this power to contribute to the world in my own small way at just 17, you know. I hope you join me through donating to genuinely transform the well-being of hundreds of lives. Thank you more than words can say. Love you. Mwah. And this part is unscripted. And I don't have any bullet points for this, but there's something called like a dopamine baseline. You may have heard of it before if you're on this side of YouTube. Basically, when you do a stimulating activity like watching some random bullshit, right? Your dopamine goes up. Okay, this is baseline, right? It goes up above baseline, but then it drops back below baseline. And then when it goes back up, right, like it ebbs and flows like a sine curve, it actually goes to below the baseline, like straight up below. So you're literally less happy by default. Like, think about that. But when you do a hard thing like studying, right, your dopamine drops, but then it goes up and then goes to above baseline. So that's when you're happier. Like, you end up happier after doing the hard task. That's why you end up happier after actually completing your work. You feel a sense of real accomplishment, man. And this leads to my first point. I've mentioned this before, but it's like way too important to not mention again. Fun is relative. If I locked you in a room with piles of homework and books, but also a phone with infinite battery, you'd obviously use the phone, right? Don't fucking lie to yourself, you'd use the phone. But if I took away the phone, you have literally nothing else to do. So you like hate me for like 10 minutes, but then eventually you move to the homework, even if you hate doing homework, right? Because whatever it is, boredom is always worse for like the human subconscious than just like anything. Like, I know I've just been yapping, but here's an actually actionable step that you can do right now. Grab a paper, draw like a normal graph, and the y-axis is level of fun, like funness scale. Basically what we're doing is taking all the stuff that we do on a daily basis and ranking them based on how fun they are. It's important here that you be completely honest with yourself. I'll put mine up from screen that was like from a year ago. Actually, I'll just like redo it. I'll just redo a current one. What you want to do is slowly remove all the things that are above your work. I'm not saying to never play Minecraft at all, or to never hang out with your friends, or like fucking grind bullshit like that. But you want them to be bonuses, not the things you have to reward yourself with. An upload schedule like this is not easy, even for people with a whole ass team, let alone myself. Yet I find fulfillment in knowing that I'm slowly growing the channel and improving and becoming a better version of myself through these videos, while helping other people along this journey too. Most other self-improvement content is missing the actionable steps, which is honestly why I'm here to fill that gap. This is like the first time in months I've asked people to subscribe, but if you want stuff that could genuinely give a real impact on your progress and fulfillment, that button's right there waiting for you, man. I have 3 different sections I'm gonna cover for the rest of this video, and my viewers know I don't usually say this, but you better listen close because like I wish I had this sit in front of my face earlier, alright? First is the work itself. Remember how I said at the start of the video that most people think of work and happiness as opposite sides of the same scale, that if you want to be happy, you have to give up some of work, and you don't want that. Instead of thinking of it as something like dreadful, something you're forced to do every day, why not think of it as making progress? See it how it really is. In physics, work done is literally force times distance. Work done is literally you moving forward and making progress using force, which is your energy. The way humans work is that they like seeing progress. That's pretty common sense, right? You like seeing progress, seeing you move forward in the thing that you do. Let's take your least favorite subject. Like you got a low grade on that, right? Let's say like computer science for me. But let's say you locked in on it for a few weeks and your marks increased by like 20% on the test pass your paper that you gave yourself. Would you feel motivated? Would you like studying it again? Probably, right? Even though you hate the subject, because like you're actually seeing active improvement in your grade in it. And even if you still don't like it, it's definitely more than you liked it before, right? This simple logic right here can be your secret weapon, man. Just make sure that there's checkpoints in your progress, you know? Second, we have distractions. I'll go over the most common ones like scrolling and video games and stuff like that. For the second point, we'll have 2 mindset shifts that you can use. First one is that your time is worth way more than you think. Like there are billionaires who would pay like millions just for one day, literally one extra day. Like let's give our time just a numerical value so you actually believe it, alright? Like just say $50 an hour, an actually like reasonable amount. Now, would you pay $50 an hour to scroll on TikTok, man? Probably not, man. But would you pay $50 an hour to make future you's life better? Okay, knowing you, the answer is probably no. But you get my point, okay? You get my point. For video games, you can apply that same mindset shift I just gave you to. But I've got one extra one for you here. You know how video games have like achievements for specific goals like mining stone or beating the dragon, right? You want those specific goals and checkpoints, like I mentioned earlier. Don't just say get A star for math. Say do 30 minutes of math practice every day. And if I do that, I get to shit talk my friend, for example. You should just have stuff like that to keep you going. But that's just an example of the power of your thinking, this way of thinking that you could adopt. This is how you actually gamify your life, okay? No random bullshit. This is how you level up in real life, which is the most fulfilling game of all. This next one is probably something you don't hear a lot of, but something we all need, man. Everyone's saying to lock in or go on monk mode, but just listen to this. You've probably heard this before, but there was a study, one of the longest ones ever conducted, where basically they studied people over the course of an entire lifetime, and what they found was that amount of money wasn't the deciding factor in longevity and lifespan. It was quality of relationships. You already know this, but I hope this can serve as a reminder for you here. Like, I can just go tell you to be productive, but what's the point of being productive, you know? I'll get to fulfillment and all that other stuff later, but even if we're just talking about getting work done, time with family is essential. I don't go out like too often, but whenever I do hang out with my friends, for example, have a call with a brother or just a nice convo with my sibling or a random person, I feel more inspired to work, honestly. Because monk mode is not sustainable, man. Because you're gonna need human connection, especially if you're a social person like me. I'm introverted, yes, because the definition of introvert is that you sort of recharge when alone. But if you're a human being with actually decent social skills, you like socializing with people. That's just like a fact. My close friends are absolutely critical in my success in work, alright? Not to mention just well-being, because being productive is doing something for future you. That's the definition of productivity. And I'd say like socializing easily counts as being productive, man. Not hours spent being physically together but on your phone, but being present, actually listening to what the other person has to say. Like if your parents, your closest friends, your crush and like whatnot all wanted you to improve your grades, for example. Your grades are going to the fucking moon, man. You wouldn't let them down, right? Like if they told you that every day, you wouldn't let them down. This helps you find your higher purpose in life too, like serving the world. Like for me, for example, the people you care most about are how you find the real meaning in your own life. And if you made it until here, you probably got a lot of value from this video, man. Looking forward to helping you even more in the next video. See you.